Welcome to Total Meltdown, Pwn.com's official podcast. This is episode 18, and I'm your host, G Nitro. Along with me for the ride is Quiglin and Church.
What's going on?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
All right, this is Quig and Church's second episode as co-hosts. I hope everybody enjoyed the first one, got some good feedback on it. Um,
Really?
yeah, but before we go into that, I just want to ask how you guys have been doing over the past week.
Pretty good, pretty good. How about you,
Pretty,
Ben?
pretty crappy, actually, but we won't go there.
No, nothing interesting going on?
Just work related, that's about it. If that's
Yep.
interesting enough for you.
Yeah, exactly. Just working a lot of hours.
Nice, nice. I know how the hours is, but you got to make the money, right?
Yeah.
That's how I buy the games.
Especially with this economy. Oh, there's the
Yeah.
E word.
Yeah, we don't want to be depressing though. I did see two movies this week. I saw Wally.
Nice.
I
You know, I
really
still,
like that movie.
I still haven't seen that movie.
It's definitely not a kids movie in my opinion.
Really?
It's got some parts that kids will laugh at, but for the most part, it's got a very more of a not adult theme, but just an older type theme to it.
Yeah, I'd say it's more sophisticated.
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, they really touch upon, real issues rather than it being all light and fluffy. It actually goes after, things that need to change in our society. I think it's pretty telling.
Yeah. And
Hmm.
they could have definitely made it real preachy as well, but they didn't. It was basically take care of yourself and everything around you, and instead of just trying to be preachy about it. And one thing that stuck in my mind for days was Eve saying Wally. Like I could not get her out of my head saying Wally. Oh, it's driving me insane.
I bet it was.
But the other movie I saw was Speed Racer. Um, I went in there with low expectations from what a lot of people told me, and I came out really enjoying that movie. It's very cartoony, very loud in colors and special effects. It felt like the cartoon, as I would expect a live action to be to follow it, and I really enjoyed it. I don't know if you guys have seen it yet.
No,
I have
I
not.
haven't.
Mm-mm.
If you go in there expecting what you expecting just that, like this is going to be like a live action version of the cartoon. They're not going to try to do anything crazy with it in terms of trying to make it more than what it is. It was great. Matthew Fox played Racer X, and he had the perfect voice for it. He sounds just like Racer X from the cartoon. Um,
Really?
yeah, he did a great job on that. Emil Hirsch did a good job playing Speed. Christina Ricci is hot as freaking hell as Trixie. Oh my God. The girl who played Haruko, smoking hot.
Okay,
And
now you make me because it was sort of funny because my friend he went to see the movie and he actually got the DVD. And so he what
Wow.
I didn't know he didn't get the DVD. He got the Blu-ray, I think.
get the Blu-ray.
Yeah,
Trust me.
he got the Blu-ray and he sat there and he was, yeah, I can sit there and enjoy this movie. I'm like, really?
Yeah,
So
on Blu-ray
I
it
might
looks
have to try
amazing.
it. I might have to check it out. So
And Korean pop star Rain is in there. If people listen to Mo's last episode, I played one of his songs at the end called Friend,
yeah,
Hmm.
featuring Tiger JK from Drunken Tiger. But he was in there, and after every line, he'd be like, "Woo!" and then yell "woo" like two or three more times. Like it was obvious that his English isn't good enough, so they're like, "Just yell "woo" again." Woo!
oh boy,
I had to laugh, but it was a good movie
Uh,
overall. Other than that, that's all that I really did this past week. I had one other thing, but we'll talk about that in a bit. Um,
well, if you're ever talking about like that way, I beat Gears of War 2.
oh, nice.
It
Yeah, I
took me a while, but I finally beat it.
still need to do that.
We still got to do the co-op.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay,
Got to get my achievements.
yeah.
Um, but no, so let's say we get into the member feedback. We had a couple comments from actually from female users this week.
Very nice.
Female only. We will take that. Um, first off, the first one comes from you, Puff. Because we did make some comments about her spamming last week. Um, she just wanted to say, "Oh, I love you guys too. But Mew doesn't spam, damn it.
Oh, we love you, Mew. You know that.
Yeah, we do love you, but you do spam.
Oh, come on.
She knows I love her.
Yeah,
She
that's
doesn't
right.
spam. Come on.
Not that badly.
No.
Just so you know, she put that comment in about 4 or 5 times, just so we knew it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey Hey Chess is the other one, aka Busty One, as we like to call her in the shout box, and now I do on Xbox Live Gaming Nights. um, she says, I guess after she heard us talk about the food part or the drinks and stuff, people sending us stuff like that. She said, try mixing Blue Moon with Guinness. Unfortunately, I didn't get out and buy that, but I will do that next week.
Oh.
So I
Oh.
suggest you two do the same.
All right, let me write that down.
All right.
We will all try that next Sunday night.
Guinness and Blue Moon. Okay.
So,
Okay.
she also says, "Oh, and I enjoyed episode 17 very much. Job well done by Church and Quig, and of course G Nitro as well. Hearts."
Oh.
So,
We
thank
love you, Chesty.
yes, we love.
Oh, yes.
We thank both of you guys for being loyal listeners, and thank you for your comments. Keep them coming. If people have questions, like we've said before, just hit us up on Total Meltdown's profile or the forums in basically whatever the last episode's show was. You can ask us questions there, or there's also a dedicated thread. And we will read them on air and answer them to the best of our abilities. So, Pwn news. Not much going on this week. The biggest news was last night we had the Pwn, Goozex, and CAG Meet. For those
How was that?
listening, it was Saturday. It was awesome. We had about 20 people show up, 15 to 20 people. Some people didn't make it, and some people went out and just couldn't find us, which I don't know how, because it was like a big group of gamers in front of the Dave and Buster's entrance at a table right at the entrance. It was like, how did you miss us? But
Did you have a sign?
I didn't think you would really need it, because at one point we were all sitting there with boxes of stuff to trade and sell.
Maybe they were
away.
so used to the avatars instead of your actual real faces.
Yeah, one guy wishes he had gotten my number to call and see where we were, but I didn't think we were that hard to find. I mean, just look for the biggest group of people with glasses. I think most of us had it. No, it was a lot of fun. We had some new people show up and a lot of regulars. Geo Moose, who's a big fan of our show, was there.
Yeah.
He got one of our Pwn shirts.
Woohoo!
Yeah, go Moose.
Yeah,
we
lucky you. You got one, and I still haven't gotten one.
We'll work on that. But I think he's still working on getting them made now. But Geomoose came with his wife, who is pregnant. So congratulations. She's only about, I think he said, a week or two away.
Oh,
Wow.
Big congrats.
Yeah.
Look forward to hearing that you've had the baby, and let us know the name and sex, and we'll announce it on the show. We'll give you a shout out here.
Absolutely.
So,
Middle name, Total Meltdown.
yeah, definitely. Just name him Nitro.
Saw that one coming.
Nah, but also one of the Goozex guys came out. Mark, he was there. He basically bribed me. He had a import game in his pocket because I'm a very vocal member on Goozex. I mean, I don't know how anybody could ever figure out I'm vocal. But I tend to speak my mind a lot. So he handed me Biohazard Code Veronica, the Japanese version of Resident Evil, and basically says, "All right, I will give you this, but you have to keep your mouth shut on complaints for 30 days." Which I gladly accepted. I was like, okay, I'm easy. I'm very easy to deal with.
You heard that right, folks. He said
Yep.
he's easy.
But I did talk to him about Goozex. There's a big update coming out for them this week as well. So for those who use the site, look forward to that. He told me what it was, but I can't announce it here. It's not my place. So keep an eye out on the site. Have gotten a few games. I got in Fear 2 from Goozex. Good going there. Actually from one of our members, Butcher.
Oh, Butcher was there?
Yeah. No, he wasn't from there. He actually I got it from him through the mail.
Oh, okay.
But I just
Oh,
wanted to say thanks for the game, Butcher. He's another listener.
very
What's up,
nice.
Butch?
Um, but the meet went well. We had some other people. Another Goozex member, Anna Mallison or Allison. She was there. Always has a great outfit. I swear, this girl's got the best outfits ever. She was wearing these like Chewbacca boots, as she was calling them. I showed you guys the pictures. If you can see in the one, they're real furry. She was there. We also had Tiny, another guy, Mike. Trying to think of the other regulars. Cleaver, Toy Machine. There's a bunch of other people there. I'm sorry if I don't get everybody's name in. Um, but we thank everybody for coming out. We are discussing the next meet is going to be Ocean City, Maryland for a whole
Oh
weekend.
yeah.
We're talking about doing the whole weekend, and we're going to put it out there early on so people who want to come in, who normally wouldn't make the trip from further away, it'll give them time. Like it should be up by the early March.
Oh my God, we did a buddy's bachelor party in Ocean City. I can't actually talk about half the stuff we did.
I've
Well,
never been to Ocean City.
you guys should come. You guys should come. It's going to be a whole weekend, so we did that so if people want to come drive in, fly in, they can. And we're going to just, I figured if we tell people early enough, people can say, hey, I need a roommate at this hotel. Somebody, or not a roommate, but somebody to stay with me, and we can split the costs. So I want to see how many we get. It'll be nice to see how many we can pull together just between 3 sites and see where we can take that in the future. Who knows? We could start a CAG Pwned Goozex Con. You know what I'm saying? Like a
It would be something.
PGCC. um, work out the acronym later.
Yeah, we'll work on that name.
But I'm just saying, through the 3 sites, if we could get enough. In fact, because of this meet, Pwn got a mention on the front page of Cheap Ass Gamer this past week.
Very
Really?
nice.
Yeah, he basically put up that the meet was happening between Cheap Ass Gamer, Goozex, and Pwn, and linked the other 2 sites, Goozex and Pwn. So that was nice. He did a mention on the CAG cast. He got the day wrong, but it's okay, Cheapy. It's cool. He said Sunday. It was Saturday. um, but it was good. It was just fun time. A lot of beer. A lot of Blue Moon. No fruit, Moose. No fruit. Because I was very adamant about no orange in my Blue Moon. And he likes his orange. I was like, you don't fruit the beer. It's already brewed that way. So we had a lot of fun. Who else? We had 3 or 4 girls come out. Black Fox Sulu came out with his wife as well. So it was nice to see that some spouses do support their husband's gaming habits and don't mind coming out. Hey, Allison made the great joke. When everybody was talking, she was kind of doing like a little announcement. I got to say something about this group. This is the first time I've ever seen so many gamers together with social skills. Basically, everybody's talking to each other. She says she's been the ones before where it's been like just quiet. So
Yeah, because they're so used to like talking like through the mic or
yeah.
talking through the keyboards and stuff like that. You know, most gamers now they go somewhere, they're like
Yeah,
and
there's
just
no
have
dead
nothing
silence.
to say.
Now it's a very good group of people, and it's always fun. So the next meet should be out in the Ocean City area. We'll see. I'll let people know as details come in. So it'll be for a whole weekend, Friday to Sunday. Basically, come out Friday, leave Sunday sometime.
That is one crazy place.
Yeah. And we hope to give people enough time to actually coordinate plans and stuff. And sorry, Mo, I know you're kind of pissed I told you that was happening. She's not back in Maryland. Well, other than that, the other Pwn news, I just kind of want to let people know about the Pwn marketplace a little more, where you cash in your points. When you guys go to gear and you click on Pwn marketplace, there's a list of stuff that you can redeem your Pwn points for. You have the Ajax shout box, which is the cheapest, which gives you real-time chatting in the shout box instead of having to refresh. But other than that, you have the games or PSP DS are all 25,000 for the most part. Steam games are 30, and 360 Wii and PS3 are all around 35,000. Then you have the consoles and stuff like that, which are generally more. But I want to point out that lately we've been getting games on sale and clearance prices and trying to bring them to you guys at a lower price point. For those who don't know, we have Summonite Twin Age on the DS, an action role-playing game from Atlas for 15,000, as well as the highly touted World of Goo.
Which is a blast.
Yeah, this is the PC retail copy, not the Steam for now. So we only have a box or two. Once that's gone, we'll probably keep it at that price for Steam. But we do have a retail version of the PC for those who want it. I'm pretty sure if you tell us, hey, I'd rather have the Steam version, we can get that for you as well.
That's right, folks. That's right. The savings is passed on to you.
Yep. We're trying to... There's no reason for us to get the thing real cheap and not pass it on. So we figure if we can help people cash in their points for lower price games, even if they're older and on sale, I'm sure some people will have we'll see some games that they really wanted to play and never picked up. So keep a lookout. We're going to be adding some more as time goes on. So keep an eye out on the Pwn Marketplace. You may see a game pop up for cheap and that you really want. And we'll only have a copy or two, so as soon as it's gone, it'll go down. So definitely keep an eye out. Let's see. That's it for the main Pwn news. We had game nights, of course. We had Gears 2 night recently. Joe for
And I'm not last.
Yeah, you were not last. Only because the last two people probably showed up late, but no, I'm sorry.
Oh,
I wouldn't doubt that.
Hey, after his 9-point showing in Halo 3, which was awesome.
Hell yeah. 9 points. Can't beat that. Unless they try really hard.
Yeah, but Joe for the down came out, really didn't do well in the beginning of the first round. Like the first 2 rounds, his team was getting smoked. I even got to chainsaw church once.
I call BS on that one.
I got you like 3 or 4 times that night.
Yeah, I call BS on all of them.
Haxor.
Joe for the down, his team was really getting smoked, and something snapped in him, and he went nuts for the rest of the game. Like he won with 3,500 plus points. Second place was our favorite monkey, D. Luffy, from the COD4 nights, with 2,833. Rounded up, top 3 was Butcher with 1,800 plus. For those wondering how myself and Church did, I came in 6th. Church came in 8th. We had 10 total.
Once again, I didn't come in last.
If it wasn't for me chainsawing Church and Chest at the end of the night, I probably wouldn't have done as well. I got like 2 or 3 because at the last level we played, I was just like, on our team, I was like, you guys realize the best thing to do on this level is just to run out and chainsaw as fast as possible. I got like 4 or 5 kills that match.
Well, it was funny because I got I know I got like, yeah, Chess was on your team.
No, she was on.
So I got Chess, and then like right behind me, there you are chainsawing me. I'm like, oh crap.
Yeah, I love the chainsaw on that map because we were playing once before when the first night we all had gears. I was just running out there chainsawing everybody because I got tired of getting shot. So I said, screw it, they're gonna have to shoot me before I can get to them. And it usually works for 1 or 2 kills because I kept killing Ducky as well. So that was fun. So if you guys ever want to come out, just check the calendar. There's game nights because next week is Call of Duty 4 again. Gonna have it at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific next Saturday. I'm pretty sure we're gonna have a good group of people. I can check the calendar as we speak.
If you want the points, come join. I'll be there.
Yeah,
That's right. That's free kills.
Currently,
exactly.
It says we have 21 people attending. I'll be honest. We'll probably get 12 to 13 of those. Not a bash on anybody, but people sign up and things come up and you can't happen. So, and I mean you can't make it. We understand. So hopefully we get a full room. It's always nice to have 18 people in there. Looks like we got a good crowd. My boy Duddy's coming from Goozex. He's always my #1 rival on there. So I'll be sure to have my noob tube ready.
You and that
especially.
damn thing.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh, and Shockman's gonna be there. Oh, I'm gonna have my knife ready too. Puerto Rican and gonna come out. Ah! Stab the shit out of him.
Oh
Oh, I love being
God.
Puerto Rican sometimes. It's translates over to Call of Duty 4 great.
It's a new plugin he has.
Yeah. It's my real life. I use the Wiimote.
Oh.
Um, well, that's it for game nights. Next month, like I said before,
Hey,
we're gonna be putting bounties out on Matrix, and
what
um,
about CSS? We played
well,
that
we don't
today.
know the winner.
Well, the winner's picked randomly,
That's why I was
so it's
gonna
not
wait
that.
for next week. Oh yeah,
Uh,
true. Um,
yeah, Ben is not quite as bad as a bullet sponge as I am. I think I had 1 kill and 29 deaths.
holy crap!
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually do better on the PC than I do on a 360, but still though, like Jill came out there, she started using it up. I was on the counter terrorist side, and
Yeah, I
I
hear
pop
Joe
out,
Rotch.
try to kill her. I'm aiming for her, but yet Archie gets in the way, kill him, and all of a sudden I get headshotted
Yeah,
by Jill.
I hear Joe Rot's pretty sick.
Yeah,
Yes.
she's pretty awesome at the game.
Well, I know eventually once I get enough money for the PC after I get a house, I'll be on there. I'll be joining those PC nights. Not gonna host them because I can't host everything. It's starting to get stressful. Um, we do have we also have a Soul Calibur 4 night this Wednesday
Oh,
for
very
the
nice.
360. So if you got a 360 Soul Calibur 4, come join us. It's gonna be a little tournament that I'm putting on. You can thank Erraticus and Snappy for putting the original member night together. That proved they could get enough people to come play for a Pwn member night. I mean a Pwn game night. So there's actual Pwn points involved here.
Yeah, so come out
Awesome.
for that.
All right. Well, let's go into what we're playing. Quig, how about you? You want to start us off on what you've been playing?
Sure. I've actually just put a lot of time this week into Lord of the Rings Online. The addiction hit me hard, especially on the day I was like sick home from work, and it's just like 5 hours later. I'm like, yeah, maybe I should stop this.
How many levels did you get?
I got a couple levels on each of my characters that day. That was a good thing. I even grinded out a trait. That was pretty
How many is
exciting.
each?
Oh, I have 3 characters.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Jesus.
I have a level
Oh, okay. I can't say
46.
nothing about that, but all right.
Yeah, I have a level 46, 23, and 20. So working on that. Also getting real excited about this Tuesday is the Scout update for Team Fortress 2. If you guys looked, I put a news article out there this past week, and they were already talking about there's already 4 maps they've announced that are going to be for community maps that are going to be released, and they started with releasing also the achievements and some of the things you can earn. So some of the achievement weapons. So it should be pretty interesting to see what's
Nice.
going to happen there. Yeah.
So,
That's about it, really. I'm really for the scout thing. I'm pretty impressed. They have the first thing they released was called the Sandman, and basically you can hit a baseball across the map, and if it hits someone, then they are knocked out. They're knocked unconscious. And the further away you are from the person, the longer they're knocked unconscious, and that includes if someone is invulnerable. So if you hit an Uber and they get hit with a Sandman, they're going to get knocked out, and they're just going to sit there for the 10 seconds. So it's should be interesting. It should be an interesting addition to the gameplay, and I'm interested and excited to see what happens with that.
nice.
That's
Well,
about it for me.
all right. Well, I've been playing this week. I guess I'll start with Afro Samurai. Had that in from Goozex a few weeks ago. Um, and I'm working on a Pwn.com review. Um, I'm having a lot of fun with it. It's a fairly easy game. Um, been I've anytime I die, it's from jumping off something, but it doesn't matter. You immediately start right back up from pretty much the ledge you were at prior. Um, but none of the enemies or bosses are hard at all. It's all typical hack and slash. If you figure out their routine, you can pretty much beat them with ease. But it's definitely meant for fans of the show or people who just want to pick up a game and play instead of worrying about story. Kind of like when I was talking about Oni-Chanbara. It's just a game that you pick up and play. Samuel L. Jackson, just like the actual show, is hilarious. Oh my God, he says fuck so many times in the game. You hit down on your controller on the D-pad, and he'll pop up to tell you where to go. Well, at one point I was like in a room and I was like, crap, where the hell's the door? And I hit it, and since he won't pop up, he goes, I'm not your GPS motherfucker. I was like, what the fuck? And then I hit it again just to see what he'd say next. He's like, you know where the fuck you're at? I was like, holy shit. Like, he's so freaking great. Like, he's just great playing Ninja Ninja. It's definitely not for kids. At one point, you enter a room and a stripper comes down the pole. What looks like a stripper turns out to be a topless ninja. And yes, it's full nude, topless nude. You get breasts and all. I was kind of like, oh my God, titties, titties.
Oh,
Just as
get
like,
cool
because I
seeing
was
that.
like, it was just funny to yell. I was like, holy crap, because I know God of War's done it, and but still, it's not something you see a lot in games. Even though GTA's got to up the ante by showing full out cock, in your face. So, but basically, it was a lot of fun. Like I said, it was a little easy. There's some frustrating parts, like when you're trying to make a jump onto like a ledge where it's real thin. If you barely miss it, you like almost get stuck in this. Your guy moves kind of jaggedly until he shakes out of it. There's some parts that were frustrating like that, but for the most part, pretty easy. Um, when you finally kill a guy after slashing at him, you cut them up. I mean, they're losing limbs halfway through the body. It doesn't matter. So it was a lot of fun. I definitely have to recommend it as to play. At the $60 price point, I hate to say that because I hate saying that against companies, and I know they don't like to hear it, but honestly, $40 would have been perfect, and I
Yeah.
think a lot more people would pick it up at that price point. But it's a lot of fun. My review will be out, hopefully this week as I get a few more hours of game time in.
Mhm.
Other than that, I played the Yakuza 3 demo from the Japanese PSN store.
Oh yeah, how was that?
Um, Amazing in my opinion. There's a lot of people like joystick bashed it, saying it was still the same old graphics, just smoothed out for the PS3, which I disagree with. I thought the graphics looked great on the PS3. Everything looks like it is in Japan. Like if it's something in Japan, you see it here. Um, the combat's still the typical brawler that they had in the first two, but you can't complain about it. It's fun. It's all in Japanese, so I kind of was just skipping past the cutscenes till you fought. Then after that, you go running out in the town. Trying to remember this girl's name. So excuse me for a second while I find my book here. Um, Basically, you get hit up by the girl from the hostess club. I don't remember her name in game, but she's based after real life, a real life girl from one of the picture machines. She's well known from taking sticker pictures. Let's
Okay.
see, her name, I believe it's Sakurina, and she was also featured in Brian Ashcraft's Arcade Mania
Oh
book.
yeah, you said that last week. Same girl, huh?
Yeah, she's in the game. Um, Now I went in there no Japanese knowledge, and you have to answer first. You have to buy like an alcoholic drink and then some food. I picked those correctly because I went for the higher price stuff because they give you like 20 million yen or something like that.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, sweet, I have enough to go with this. So I picked the higher price stuff and got the hearts up on her because you have to make the hearts go up to go further. Started getting the questions. The first question I got wrong, and her mood got sour. And I was like, oh shit, here we go. Um, every question after that I got right. Like it was like boom, 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 and I got all but one heart, which was enough for her to hand me her card with her number on it. And it was funny at the end. You walk out, and she immediately has already texted you on your cell phone.
Nice.
But then you walk around a little more. It's kind of hard to figure out where I was going because you don't really know the names, and you hit these police things. I think it was because they put a barrier up because the game is a demo.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So I had to find my way around these police barriers to get to the area I needed to go to. At one point, some punk on the street comes up and starts shit, and now you got to fight his gang. So I thought that was
Nice.
neat. That just happens. Like, I'm sure it's scripted to happen that way if you go down there, but it was just cool that it happened. And then finally, you fought the CIA guy with three of his people, and it was a hard fight. Like, this guy's definitely fighting tough. I mean, it was pretty sweet. So it was a good demo. I can't wait to see if the game comes here. If not, I'll probably be picking up the import and just guessing my way through the game.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good though.
Yeah, had a lot of fun. So if people have a Japanese PSN account, check it out. Check out the demo. If you want to know how to make it, how to make one, let me know, and I'll send you a YouTube link that Epileptic Gaming put together to do so. Um, and last but not least, I've been playing Flower on PSN. I downloaded that. It was $10. I will tell you, I've never played a game that relaxes me as much as that. It's fully motion controlled with the 6-axis. You also have it where you just pretty much use one analog stick and you use that to push the wind forward or the wind in the direction you want to go. And it's just the music playing. When you hit a flower, they bloom. It's very relaxing. I mean, well, when you hit a flower, they bloom and they play a note, like a musical note, and it's just very relaxing because there's no real death or anything. You mess up, you turn around, go get the flower you missed, and come back and keep going. I mean, it was just a lot of fun. I don't want to spoil anything. I believe it was the third or fourth level. Things change a little.
Hmm.
I don't want to give it away because it's not a huge spoiler, but some people would like to see it for themselves. But I'm now up to the 6th level. Haven't started it yet, but I've had a lot of fun with the game, and I like playing it after a stressful day at work. It really does calm me down. I'd say it's like an interactive tech demo more than anything,
Hmm.
but it's a $10 well spent in my opinion.
All right.
And I gotta say, people should check that out. I'll try to review that this week as well. I got quite a few games I gotta do, so it's gonna be tough. But that's about it. Next week I'll hopefully be able to discuss the Idolmaster SP games for PSP.
Oh, jeez.
I got those in. You can check out my article on that, where it sold out first day in Japan. So
Wow.
yeah. So Church, what have you been playing? Let us know. I know you've got the
I've
biggest game of last week that you were checking out.
yeah. Actually, I want to make a correction first because I last week I said I got the collector's edition for the 360. To be honest with you, I I got the collector's edition for the PS3. So I I've been playing Street Fighter 4, of
Liar.
course. No, I really do. I no, I have the Ryu figurine standing on top of my on my PC right now. It looks pretty badass actually,
Nice.
but um no, yeah, I've been playing Street Fighter 4. The gameplay itself is really, really close to what you remember back in the day. I mean, it's like you pick it up and you're like, all right, let's get going. You pick your character. I think you start with your regular cast, and then you have to unlock a bunch of other ones from like the Street Fighter Alpha series and whatnot. But you go right into it, and it's like everything looks 3D in a two like you, but you're playing in like 2D almost. And what's really cool about this Street Fighter is that when you're fighting and like someone hits the ground really hard, like something in the background will interact. Like remember that one Chinese board where you face Chun Li and you see the guy riding a bike whatnot all the time. Do you remember that board?
No, I don't really remember it. I wasn't that big of a Street
Yeah,
Fighter fan.
Okay,
me
well,
either. Vaguely. Go.
but anyways, the guy that's riding the bike, like if you hit the ground hard enough, the guy on the bike falls down, and he'll stumble there, look around, get dust himself off, and get on the bike and starts riding again. You know,
Nice.
it's like stuff like that. It's like the surrounding area interacts what you do in the game, which is really, really nice. I like it a lot. You know, because I'm like, the Blanca stage in the jungle when you're sitting on the bridge. There's like monkeys like sitting on a ledge, and you do a really hard move on your opponent, and the monkeys fall into the river, and they're like swimming back into the bridge. It's really cool. Gameplay though, it's exactly what you remember back in the day. I the one thing I don't like about the game, and you can turn it off, but you make sure you turn it off in the very beginning when they ask you, is when you're playing the arcade mode, which is pretty much the quote unquote storyline. There's an option for you for any online challengers to come and interrupt you while you're playing. So
Mm.
you're like, let's say you're like in the final boss, you're trying to unlock something, and all of a sudden a new challenger come into play, and you're like, oh, what the? And then you have to, if the connection works well, and we all know PSN is
Yeah.
not really that well for that, but you know, you get interrupted a lot if you have that on because people from around the world see that you want a challenge and you're playing the game or whatnot. But once you turn it off, the arcade mode is really nice. Um, Playing it online for PSN, I played 2 rounds. I'm 1-on-1 right now. But the first time I played as Chun-Li, beat the person. The second time I played as Ken, but the other person, my opponent played as Ryu. So all he did was fireball,
Uh,
fireball, fireball. I got close enough, dragon uppercut, fireball. I mean, it was just got that annoying. After that, I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna unlock all my characters and see if I can play someone else and try to go online afterwards. So, um,
Yeah, actually, I forgot to mention this. I was on actually earlier this evening on Average Joe Gamers podcast, and the one guy was telling me that that feature of somebody that can just join in was really annoying him, and he said he wanted to. He was mentioning that as a warning, like don't forget to go into options and turn that off if you don't want somebody interrupting your play,
yeah.
because you
I
really
mean,
don't have a choice.
well, actually, you do. When you first go to arcade mode, it asks you if you want it turned on.
Yeah,
Make
well,
sure
they're saying if you don't turn it off, you don't have a choice. Like they kind of just join your game like the old
yeah.
arcade.
Oh yeah, they do.
well,
It's just that even when you're like selecting a character, they can join in just like that. And like, the hell, I just got the game.
Yeah, that's what the guy Eric from Average Show Gamer was like. What the hell? And he was like, I gotta turn this off.
I I had to. I had to turn. I'm like, I had to go. I'm like, okay, quit. Go to options. Oh, okay, there it is. Turn it off, and then like I just kept on going, like no problem. But that's the most annoying. Um, but other than that, playing online was actually not that bad. Everything was really. There was like barely. There was no actually. There was no interruptions at all. For PSN, it actually did pretty well. But the annoying part was trying to find someone to fight you. You you see someone, you try to join, connection error.
Yeah, welcome to PSN.
Try to find someone else, connection error. At that point, I'm just like, screw this. I'm just gonna try to unlock all the characters now. So, I mean, let's see. I've been playing that, and then just yesterday, I can say that too. That I picked up Warhammer 40,000, um, Dawn of War 2 for the PC, and I've been playing that nonstop for like the past 15 hours or so. Well, not nonstop, but I've been playing that a lot on Steam and whatnot. It's really really cool. It sort of reminds me of like an RTS slash RPG because you start out with a character. You can't. It's all predetermined. You can't customize it or whatnot. It's there for you, which is pretty cool because there's other classes you have to deal with. So, but you're like the field commander or whatnot, and you have a pistol in one hand and like this saw blade, a motorized saw blade in the other, which is really cool. And then you go through the boards or whatnot. Your guys levels up, and you get to choose the points depending on which class uh, to the right field or whatnot. But the gameplay though, like you have like it's not like, oh, you need to build a base first and then go and attack. In the campaign mode, you have this small group, and then you have to get like these checkpoints so that just in case one person on your group dies, you gotta go to that checkpoint and then maybe retrieve another guy. But then at the end of that map, you have to face this boss. Well, it's not like your typical RTS boss where you just click on it and all your ninjas starts firing on it. Well, this boss actually does like special abilities. Like this one boss that I had to face, he had like this earthquake ability. So you see it streaming through, and you literally have to tell your units to go over here, or else if they get in the way, they die.
Hmm.
So it's really it's an interesting RTS. I can't wait to tackle some more around it. I did play like a multiplayer offline thing with a PC, and I'm not too sure if I'm gonna like that part. I'll tell you more about it next week when I actually play more about that. But uh, those are those are the two, and of course World of Warcraft. I've been leveling my level 73 hunter right now, so
Wow. Maybe I should give you my thief and you can level that for me, and then maybe I'll come back to play when it's an 80.
yeah, okay.
Oh,
I'll
oh
get
my God.
right on that.
I can't think
Oh,
of any other reason to play it. I mean, I just don't want to spend the time leveling that thing that much.
it was hilarious yesterday. I actually saw like one of those Chinese power levelers, where there's like 9 people streaming in a line, and they're
Yeah.
all doing the exact same thing, and they all wearing the exact same thing.
Wow.
Oh, so hilarious.
That's
Well, it could also be someone multi-boxing too.
Yeah, but it was just they all had very similar names, just slightly changed. They were, yeah. It's entirely possible, but I don't know who would do 9 at one time.
I know there's a famous one on my old server. That he was known as the Zins. He had what was it, 5 warlocks, and he would change the tide of the battle of the battleground by himself. He would join, and because he was the warlock class, one of the most overpowered class on there. He would just go and just steam through everyone because he has 5 warlocks. He would just put dots on them all over the place. Where dots equals damage over time.
that's funny.
Hmm.
So yeah.
I still think the best thing I've ever seen in WoW was the videos on YouTube of the funeral for that person they had, and they got raided,
Oh,
and they slaughtered everybody. And I was like, that is hilarious. Like, and the people were like, how could you do that? They lost a friend. I'm like, but they held it in a PvP area. That's their
yeah,
fucking fault.
yeah.
And I was like,
Well,
when I
that's
watched it, have you seen that video? Like the way they did the music?
yeah. I
Every
no,
time they
I
show the funeral, it's all like, ah. And then they show the guys running to it, and it's like, like heavy metal, and they're just running. And they freaking all of a sudden, because they had one person from their thing show up at the funeral, kind of like, like just scoping it out with the camera, like kind of like the guy that infiltrated them, and they didn't think anything of it because they figured he just showed up because they knew the person.
yeah.
Instead, he was the one setting them all up and saying, "You guys got to come to me at this point." And
God,
you see them run in and just start taking out everybody, and nobody had on like their full gear because they were mourning. They had on other stuff,
God.
and they were just wiped out. It was hilarious. That's at one point when I was like, I might want to play this game, but not enough of that happens for me to keep going.
Oh God. Yay, griefing.
Yeah,
Yes. Yay for
yeah,
grief.
but nobody griefs like Age of Conan did. My friend told me
Uh-oh.
he would just respawn, die, respawn, die. He had to actually trick the guy and pull like a football move to get around and get the hell out of there. I was like, that's sick. I was like, he's like, I died 20 times, and the guy would not leave. He just wanted to kill me again. I was like, that's disgusting.
Well, that's what you get for playing a crappy old MMO.
Exactly.
Guys are so not right. So, why don't we get into our topic of the week? Um, this week we are going to discuss what can Sony do to bring itself back to the forefront of gaming. Is there anybody who wants to kick this off?
You want me to start or Quig? You want to start? Because if you're gonna, you start because I'm a Sony fan, so you go first.
All right. Yeah. Well, I think I think it all starts with their own attitude towards their customer base and towards the entire industry in general. The first thing they need to do is to start off by getting off their high horse. I mean, just be like, huh, you know what? Maybe we're not in first place anymore because we're in last place. Right. So, start by bringing the price point down and start treating their customers better. I think that's the best place to start. Stop thinking that they're this immortal giant that can't come down. Uh,
Yeah, I
you
think
know,
if they drop it to $300, they'll be able to compete price wise. Being the high price one, even on the low end model. I mean, right now their low end model competes with the Xbox 360 Elite. But
yeah.
the cheapest model, the 360, is $200, cheaper than the Wii. So unless they bring down to 300, there's no way they're going to compete as it is. I have to agree with that. And of course, the customers. I know me, my main point, one of my biggest problems, and as I've talked about, I'm on the Japanese PSN side. The Japanese side of the Sony PlayStation 3 house is, even the PSP, is ridiculous. They are always supporting. The Japanese PSP has had games constantly being number one and beating out Nintendo games in Japan. And they didn't even bring out shit for the damn PSP this past Christmas. The next big PSP game here is Resistance.
Wow.
Um, the PS3 over there, you look at their PSN store, they have a lot more games PS1 wise. They have a huge catalog of PlayStation 1 games. I own more PlayStation 1 Japanese games than I do on the American side. And the only reason I have three of those on the American side, or no, is it two? The only reason I have two of those, which one is Suikoden, the other is Siphon Filter because they gave me a code because I'm a core subscriber. I mean, it's just disgusting to me how the American side seems to be lagging behind, but the Japanese side of their company gets it. Why can't the American side say, "Oh shit, we need to do something to step this up"? And they just don't seem to be doing it.
No, because they still think they're this huge powerhouse, that they're number one in the world, and they can't get past that. Of course, the Japanese people are going to understand because a lot of the people over there actually, care about what they think about the company, because it's Sony. Sony has, for the majority part, has always come out with great products, whether it's camcorders, DVDs, TVs, you name it. They always come up with almost high quality stuff. What they're doing right now and what they really need to change is, hey, we need to have a different mindset on how we're doing this in order to get a better sales and bring some of our fan base back, because a lot of them has pretty much ditched the PS3 to pretty much go to 360 because the majority of the gamers are now in the 360. That's where the most competition is right now. The PSN, after playing through 360, the Xbox Live, is pretty much crap compared to that. I it
Yeah, I
they
think the only
I
game that gets it right on PSN right now is Resistance 2.
Yeah, one game out of how many titles?
Yeah.
It it's ridiculous. And of course, I agree with Craig over here, where they need to do something with us fan base here. They seriously, this year they seriously need to step it up. I mean, Killzone 2, we're gonna have to wait and see how that's gonna do. Um, of course, God of War 3 what comes out 2010 along with Final Fantasy 13.
Yeah, they're expecting a
Yep.
March release for God of War 3 of next year.
I
Yeah.
think that could be a good time for it. That.
I think it's smart. Skip the holiday rush. I wish more companies would do that.
It's just that they need to do something to change their mindset, because right now, the way that I look at my PS3 right now, it's just that, oh hey, I can play Blu-rays.
Yeah, my PS3 has become my media player, not my gaming platform. I mean, granted, like I said, I played Flower, but like I said, it's more of a tech demo. It's
Yeah.
something I want to play after a stressful day, not something I want to hop online and play with friends. I mean, I have games like Little Big Planet still have problems connecting at times. SOCOM, they put out a final patch. They claim it was the final patch, and that game is still almost unplayable at times. My other problem, I will say personally, is home. Um, if you're gonna call it still in beta, why the fuck are you charging me for clothes and furniture and houses? If it's not out of beta yet, don't charge anybody. It still has serious issues. There's not much going on in there. Everybody looks the same. I like how a magazine I was reading said everybody looks like they're stuck in a Panic at the Disco concert due to
You know
their
what?
outfits and looks. But it's like, okay, they need better sliders. One thing, and I know I talk about Saints Row 2 a lot, but one thing they have in their customization are the best sliders I've ever seen on a console game for customization. Instead, they use this X and Y axis, and it barely makes a difference until you go either all the way right or all the way left or all the way up or all the way down. And to me, I was just getting tired of using it. It's not enough. I mean, you look at games at Second Life where there's like infinite customization of what your character can look like. Why can't we do that with Home? Why can't you give me more? I mean, it
Because it's
just doesn't
still in
seem like.
beta.
Yeah, well, yeah, but you want to charge me for clothes, like for a Diesel store. I don't care about Diesel. Um, Not to mention,
But
you go to an arcade game, you got to wait in line.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's a very interesting point. I mean, why should there be waiting? It's the internet.
Exactly.
Like there is an infinite space out there in some capacity. I mean, really. Now, I
Hmm.
think what they need to do is they need to follow Microsoft's example where Microsoft's like, huh, we're going to steal Mii's from Nintendo. That's a really good idea. Let's steal that. I think that PSN needs to start stealing ideas from Microsoft. I mean, yeah, just look at Live and say, huh, what can we do that'll be similar to this that we can improve upon?
Yeah.
Instead of saying we know we need to come up with our own solution. Why reinvent the wheel? Just
Yeah.
steal it from Microsoft.
Well, my thing is, you can do that. I know they want PSN to be free, and fine. But why not give people a better connection and make them pay for it? Or give them something. Make a premium service and take that money and put it towards improving your online gaming. Because obviously, they're proving the old adage, you get what you pay for.
Yeah, I mean, look at live. There's like what still the silver and the gold, and then if you don't have the gold, you're just pretty much not paying for it.
Yeah. I mean,
It,
you still get the downloads most demos and stuff like that anyway. You can download games if you want to pay for it, but
but
you
if you
just
don't have
can't
the gold,
participate online. Yeah.
yeah, if you don't have gold, I mean, that's what Sony needs to do. Is it need to do something similar like that.
They
We're
also need to
willing to
get off the
pay. We're really willing to pay the money to have
yeah.
better connection
Well,
service.
that's my problem. I was talking about that on AggroGamer earlier. People complain on Xbox Live that they have to pay for it. I'm like, but go look at PSN. Would you rather have that? Would you really rather have a free service where it plays like crap and now you can't access any game or games are almost unplayable online? There's a reason why it's $50 a month because they have the best online subscription service outside of the PC gaming world. Um, you can't complain. I'm sorry. It shows that. And one other thing that Sony needs to do to get off their high horse is say we fucked up by saying exclusives don't matter. Obviously they do. They let go of Final Fantasy, their biggest third-party exclusive, and now people are like, "Well, fuck it, I'm just gonna buy it on the 360. I don't have to own a PS3 now." Oops. Once people start saying that, you're in trouble. I'll buy it on PS3 because it was developed for it, and I already own the system. But that was one of the games I bought it for before I
Yeah.
heard it was going on the other platform. If I had known it was going to 360 before, I might still not own a PS3 as of right now.
Well, that's the thing though. Like when I first heard that news, I literally banged my head on the table. Then I'm sitting there going, I can't believe Sony let go another exclusive title.
Yeah, and there's even talks
Another.
of Metal Gear Solid 4 coming to the 360 at some point.
That was like, was that a rumor or is that actually going to happen?
It's a rumor right now. They
Okay, because
The industry thinks it's going to happen, but we'll see.
The problem is I don't think there's going to be too many, only exclusive titles to a particular platform. It's going to be timed released,
Yeah.
So like it's 6 months on the 360, then it goes to PS3. Companies, they just can't afford, with
Yeah.
just the prices and the cost of producing these games, they can't afford to not be putting it on both platforms.
I agree, but
You
they
know,
need to pay for that, at least the time exclusive, because a lot of people want to play now, now, now.
Right, exactly, and that's a problem with our industry as well. It's almost like they have like this 2 week window, and if people don't buy it within that 2 week window, they're like, I'll buy it some other time, and then they never do.
Exactly. The other thing I want to talk about the PSP a little more. Um, Sony's like, well, we're making hardware sales on the PS3 all the time. Well, no shit, everybody's pirating your games.
Yeah.
I'm like, but you're not bringing out any games at this point to even worry about. Like I said, all my PSP games I've bought in the past year, 95% of them are imports. 95%. Like there's been no game coming out in the States where I'm like, holy shit, I gotta buy it, except for one, which was Star Ocean, the remake of the first Star Ocean. That was it. It's the only game I thought in the past 6 months, 6 to 8 months, that I was like, I gotta go pay for this. Other than that, there's no point. There's no first party support from Sony at this point for the
No,
PSP.
no, there isn't. There's none whatsoever. I mean, what's there? Ratchet and Clank. You can only do that series for for so long before it's like
Yeah.
it's
Like
the
I
same
said,
game.
Resistance Retribution is the only game coming out right now that people are even really talking about for the PSP, other than you have JRPGs, which they're hitting any system that they can do portable on right now because people like having their RPGs on the go.
Yep,
Yeah.
I mean,
definitely. I think another thing I would like to see out of Sony is as much as I can appreciate that they have this 10-year plan, there has to be something where they have to be like, okay, well, we still have the 10-year plan, but right now we need to scale back into a 2-year plan. And we'll get to the 10-year plan, but right now we're going to focus on this 2-year plan
yeah.
and give, especially at E3, give specific examples of how they're bringing software, the right, correct software to the people, the right games. That's what they need to focus on this year.
Well, that's why I believe, for myself anyways, that I believe that this year's E3 for Sony is really, really big because they need to step it up and say like, hey, look, this is what we're doing. Hopefully, this will wow you for you to buy our system and our products, and maybe bring some of the fan base back. This year's E3, in my opinion, could either make or break them for like the next
Oh,
before they release another console, if they even get that far.
if it's anything like last year's E3, it's gonna break them. Because last year I remember watching it and going, "Oh my God, you've got to be fucking kidding me! This is what they're showing off." I was like, DC Universe, an MMO. I was like, I'm sorry, it's a console. While there are MMO players on the console, there's not a lot of console gamers that actually want to play that MMO on the console. Um, I don't know how well you're gonna do. I mean, as much as I want the other game that they were talking about, what was it, The Agency, the spy MMO, and I want to play it. If I had a choice, I'd probably go to PC. Um, but it's just like last year they weren't showing enough. They showed a teaser for what God of War 3,
Yeah.
and it only really showed Kratos, and looked like just CG, and it was like, okay, great, but that game's not coming out for 18 months. Don't show me that. I don't care. Show me what you're bringing out this year. And they need to focus on that. They need to focus because it's in June. You need to put out the big games for the fall, and you need some hard hitters. Last year, Little Big Planet got lost in the shuffle because you had to delay it. You had problems with it. You had SOCOM come out unplayable, and Resistance 2. Where was the marketing for it?
There was none.
Like Sony,
Done.
the Sony gamers know of it, but nobody outside of that really knew of it. They showed maybe a clip or two on G4 or something. No, you need to take that and you need to show that shit on main TV. You need to take Killzone right now and do that. There's not enough Killzone coverage going on. This is a problem that Sony has. They don't want to spend the money for marketing and then wonder why these games aren't selling that well and they're laying people off.
Oh yeah. No, the Killzone 2 video that's been going on in that, I finally saw the commercial on that on TV today for the first time.
And it comes out in a week.
Yeah. It comes out in a week, and I finally saw it for the first time today.
I heard they were supposed to have it shown during the Super Bowl, but I don't remember seeing it.
No, they didn't.
Nope, I don't remember seeing it at all during the Super Bowl.
Because I kept hearing the rumor they're going to have a big Killzone 2 trailer during the Super Bowl, and I waited and waited, and I was like,
It
what
would have been the
the?
perfect time.
Yep.
It
Yeah.
would have been the perfect time.
There's been so much they could have done. I'll tell you right now, Mass Effect 2 probably comes out next year, and they just released the first teaser, and it's hit the internet's harder than anything from Killzone 2.
Oh yeah.
The Mass Effect site was down the minute I saw somebody on Twitter go Mass Effect 2 trailer, and I tried to click on the link, and that site wouldn't even load. Like that hit harder to me and had a bigger resounding like hit across the internet than Killzone 2 has. They didn't have a lot of talk on Killzone till after the holiday season. People were discussing it here and there, but there wasn't a huge amount of discussion until
No.
probably CES time.
Well, that's because they actually saw like a playable demo,
Yeah.
and even then, like when after some people had to download it or pre-order to get the code, and you had to wait until like February 2nd or 5th to actually use the code to download it, and then afterwards you play like a 10-minute demo, then you're like,
Yeah.
what just happened here? Why
Well,
is it over now? You wanted to play some more. I know, that's what a demo is supposed to be used for, but 10 minutes?
yeah. The other problems I have right now, you've got Uncharted 2 being worked on. You could be using this time to really get it out there. The most you hear about it right now is on gaming news sites. Um, but if you could get XPlay or G4, anywhere on G4 TV to talk about it more or anything like that, where a lot of more of the mainstream gamers are talking and watching, because as much as I stopped watching XPlay, there's a lot of people that still watch that show.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm not sure why.
I like both people on there. I don't like the format it went to, honestly. I'm more of an Attack of the Show fan at this point. But no, you've got other games that just don't get the thing. I know Valkyria Chronicles is a third-party game, but why wasn't Sony and Sega saying we need to really push this game? This is one of the gems of the Sony, is this strategy RPG that looks like a freaking anime, looks gorgeous,
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
and the sales are doing crappy, and they're trying to figure out why. Because there's no marketing on this. There's no marketing to the anime crowd. There's no marketing to the gaming crowd. Um, they're just fucking up. I want to. I don't want Sony to fail. I used to say that as a joke because they were shooting themselves in the foot. But I don't want them to fail. I want them to stay in the game because competition is good. But they need to really step up their game, or they're going to be gone. They're gonna be like Dreamcast
Um,
if they don't step it up. I'm
Well,
sorry. I'm gonna say it now. If this year and next year is it for them, if they don't start improving, people are gonna give up. Simple as that. And if you don't get a price cut, you'll really be done.
I mean, the system's been out for what? Three, 3 years? Maybe four?
3.
3 years?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
3 years, and people are gonna give up on you like that. Then Sony, I'll say it. I've been a huge Sony fan ever since, when I first got my first PS1. All right, and before that, I had like a Sony Walkman, you name it. Like I was a huge Sony fanboy. If Sony does not step up this year, they're gonna end up almost, if not equal to what Sega is. They're gonna have to become a third-party gaming company at that point.
Which they don't really have. They just have studios that are probably
Yeah, they
legal.
have studios working for them, so they just might as well just shut down the whole, um, that whole side of Sony.
But who's gonna end up filling the power void then?
I think Sega will make a comeback. I think they want to.
Well,
I've
they're
heard they've been
definitely
working on something.
they've been definitely putting forth a good effort. I mean, well, except for the last Sonic game.
Every Sonic game since Sonic Adventure.
Well, the first one they put on Wii was fun for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, but Sonic Adventure was the last fun Sonic game that I could play through for more than an hour.
For Dreamcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I thought it was a lot of fun, but I just feel like, but the Sonic franchise is still there. Like that Ultimate Genesis collection. Talking on Average Joe Gamer earlier, they were like, why'd they name it Sonic? And it was kind of like, well, why not? I mean, even though the franchise itself is kind of going downhill, it's still the name you recognize. Would you buy that if it just said Sega Genesis Collection? I would. Older gamers would, but how many would buy that?
Right.
Honestly,
Like the younger generation, like
yeah.
the now generation. How much are gonna how many of them is gonna go buy it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they would. Parents wouldn't be like, "Oh, what's this Genesis?" No, they're gonna be like, "Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection. Let's get it for our kids." I mean, unfortunately, it's got like Altered Beast on there. As much fun it was back then, it's really a shitty game.
Oh, come on. I mean, you
Come
had to,
on,
but
let's be honest. That game sucks.
you need to you did you but tell me you at least turned it on. You at least
Of
had to play a
course.
few minutes of
Yeah, I
it.
was like,
Just
I
hear
gotta see how bad this is. Yeah, it was that bad, but I don't know. I look at my collection. My collection of PS3 games is half of my 360. But even then, I don't put any of them in there compared to even half of the time I put in the 360 game. Like, it's not even half of the time I share with the 360. I watch it Blu-ray more than anything, and it's one of the best Blu-ray players you could get because it constantly updates. But
Yeah.
don't know. Just don't know. Just
Step it up, Sony. Step it up this year. I want to see something at this year's E3. Give me something that I want to look forward to.
they need to. They really need to, and they got the nice little downloadable content for Mirror's Edge exclusive. But the problem is
No one
they
bought it.
they should have paid for Mirror's Edge exclusive time release, and they should have told EA, no, we need to put this out now, like this time of year. And they could have done a lot better because that game is definitely. It doesn't feel like a 360 game. I say that a lot lately. I'm just like, I play it on 360 and I was like, ugh. But when I played it on PS3, I was like, this is what a PS3 game feels like. And they
Or
just
it should feel like.
exactly. And just they need to do something. I really don't want them to fail. They used to be the Japanese RPG king, and Microsoft is taking that over. I never thought I'd see that day, where
Sa-
all the good JRPGs are coming out on a 360. You have Star Ocean 4 this Tuesday.
Sad.
I know. Star Ocean's never been on another console until now.
I think what Sony should do is look at Microsoft's E3 press conference, not last year, but the year before, when they were just like, okay, all we're going to do is focus on what we're going to give you this fall. And they just need to take that and copy it and do it exactly that way this year and say, here are the games we're giving you this fall, so please stay with us, you know?
Yeah, who was the guy? Jim Lee came out for Sony, the comic artist that did what Wildcats or whatever they were called back then. I can't remember.
Yeah,
But
Wildcat.
who cares? The guy hasn't been like a real name in anything for a long time. I mean, ever since then in the early Gen 13, he's kind of, nobody cares anymore about the comic side of things as much. It's still there, yes, but comics aren't nearly, besides their movies lately, the force they once were. I mean, it's like, come on, focus on your stuff. Don't bring out special guests. Get in there and tell us what you are delivering to us. And be honest. Don't bullshit. Don't show anything people don't care about. Focus on your audience and get them out there.
What do you mean, like that demo they had of what the PSN store was going to be like for like 20 minutes, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
please,
Oh,
please end this now. Oh, so awful. If you wanted to see, would look back at my blogs. I have last year's E3 press conferences. I have my thoughts on those. So if you wanted to see that, go back to that.
so
I remember watching like all the conferences, like Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony, and it's always like I don't know if it's just me, but it's always like Microsoft, Nintendo, and Sony. That in a row of what excited me out of all those three.
yeah.
And it's
Well,
like,
I noticed in the last few years, Nintendo themselves are like, we're selling. Their press conference doesn't really matter.
no, yeah,
No.
They're just like, hey, we know we're selling. We're
yeah,
we're
here's
the
our
industry leader. We'll just here you go. We got Wii Fit coming out, and people it blew up. They know they're the money machine. They know what they're doing, and they're doing it right. And Microsoft is following suit. basically stealing what works and knowing what their crowd wants at the same time. Sony, on the
Mhm.
other hand, is trying to go way too media center for your living room than gaming system right now, and it's biting them in the ass.
Right, and that's fine. I think that it's fine that they want to do that, except that should be the second thing.
Yeah, I agree. They focus too hard on that in the beginning. I love the fact that I can hook up a hard drive and watch anime I have on there, any AVIs I've downloaded of anything. But I want to play games first. And I don't want that to be the only reason why I'm turning on my PS3 is Blu-ray and watching movies off a computer streamed. I mean, I'm kind of done at times. I feel like I've like, why am I turning this on if it's not for the Japanese PSN store, which I have more fun browsing than anything else.
I don't really want to know why.
It's just for demos. I mean, their demos over there are more interesting than the ones here.
Oh, the PSN
Yeah. You have to
marketplace.
pre-order games now to get a freaking PS3 demo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Luckily, I have a friend at GameStop that gave me a code for um, Killzone 2. Otherwise, I wouldn't even played it. It's like,
I actually went out there and paid the $5 to reserve it.
well, here's my thing. You are reserving Killzone 2. You already know you're getting the game. Why the fuck do you need a demo for it?
Yeah, exactly.
Because I want to actually here's my reason. I know I reserved it just to get not just to get the demo. I want to get the feel of it. I want to see if everything they said about Killzone 2 was true. And you know what? Fortunately for them, for the majority part, it is. My only complaint about the demo was the sluggish controller. I mean, you were moving. God know how slow you are going.
Yeah, it felt like a slowed down Call of Duty 4.
Oh, it was really that slow.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like, I need to get to this point eventually, and people are shooting me.
Yeah, I also felt really short in the game. Maybe it was just me. I felt like everything was towering over me.
Yeah,
But
no, I got that feeling too.
but the thing is, like, it's just okay, you give a demo, but then you got people playing the demo, and now they're like, well, I don't like this game, so I'm gonna cancel my pre-order. Oops.
Yeah,
If they already know they're gonna buy the game, give them something else. Give them a downloadable code for some downloadable content like a character or another map or something like that. Don't give me the demo of the game I know I already want. I don't want that. I don't want the. If I know I'm going to buy the game, I don't need a demo for it to tell me, oh, to hype me up anymore. It's not like it can move any faster.
yeah, exactly right.
Look at demos can backfire. I thought about buying Resident Evil 5. I played the demo and I said, no, hell no. So it's just, I don't know. Sony needs to rethink its strategy here in the US. They're doing fine in Japan. They just need to rethink here. Simple as
You
that.
know what? How much you want to bet if they don't improve this year in America? How much you want to bet you want to see less games comes out, and it's gonna be like you said, gonna be like another Dreamcast where we're gonna have to start importing games just to play them.
I have a feeling I'm gonna have to do that with Yakuza 3 because I don't think Sega will. Yakuza 1 and 2 didn't get the best sales in the first place, and if they see a system that's not getting the sales, I can't see them bringing them out on PS3 unless they port it over to the 360 as well.
Yeah.
I can't see them doing it. I really can't. But we'll see how it works.
Mm.
But I do want to say, hold on, I'm gonna pull up the. I have discussions so people can hear us sit here and see what upcoming discussions we have. I want everybody to vote. Well, we're gonna vote here on what we want to talk about next. Um, there's a few things that I have written down about five for the next discussions. The first one is achievements, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Basically, what games get achievements right, whether it's on the PC, Steam wise, or 360. What get them right, what get them wrong, and which ones are just what the fuck. Um, Also, with PlayStation 2 support seeing a slowdown in 2009, what are your fondest memories and the missteps that may have had? That's another discussion, as well as what's left for the next generation of consoles to advance, or I guess it's now current gen. I don't know when we're eventually going to be able to call this current gen.
Well, no, I think we should call this current gen.
Yeah.
I'm thinking more like the next generation of consoles, so the 720 and the PS4.
Okay.
What's left for them to do?
Okay, and we'll add to that. What's left for them, and what do you want to see?
Implants to the head, video
No.
games right in front of our
I don't
head.
want that. I don't. I've said that over and over. I do not want anything crazy like that. And the other thing, the last thing we can decide on is collector's editions of games in the U.S. Do American companies get it? Because I'm sure some of you know sometimes it's just, hey, here's a DVD. While some actually give you stuff like, Ben, you said the Ryu figure sitting above your computer or whatever.
Does anyone actually watch those DVDs?
I did.
I
I
watched the Mass Effect one. I started it finally, which is actually a game disc. I put it in and it was like, press start. I was like, what? I was like, I'm glad I put this in my 360 and not my DVD player. But yeah. So those are the four achievements. Fondest memories of the PS2. I'll just shorten them. Next generation of consoles and collector's edition US. Which of the four should we talk about next? Church?
Ooh. I want to say achievements.
I was
Wait.
actually going to go with achievements also.
That's my choice as well. So we got a week to think about it. So everybody knows next week will be achievements, the good, the bad, and the ugly as our discussion. So
Yeah. So if you got any
ready?
questions regarding that,
Or,
go
yeah,
into the forums and leave a question there for us in the
As
Total
well.
Meltdown section.
Not just a question. Give us your thoughts on the achievements. What are your favorite achievements? What are the ones you think are the worst? And what are the ones where you're like, what the hell are they thinking with this? This is impossible, nearly impossible. Or, man, I got to hit start and I got an achievement, something like that. So,
No, I remember this one picture was like I don't know. I think I saw it somewhere on Pwn was like achievement. You actually left your room.
oh yeah, I've seen that. But now, I know, like, I'll even give a quick one as a little teaser. If anybody's played Soul Calibur 4, if you just watch the opening credits, the opening video and all, and you get to the screen, it gives you an achievement.
Oh,
What?
I was like,
That-
wow, that's ridiculous.
that's not
What?
right.
Yeah, they have some stupid ones. So if you got one that you want to talk about or let us know, drop a line on to send Total Meltdown a PM or check the forums and send us a comment that way. Before we get out of here, I do want to say, as I was discussing, I was on AverageJoeGamer.net podcast earlier tonight. It's episode 37 on their site. The guys were real cool. Eric, Nate, and Wes. I want to thank you guys for having me on. Had a blast. We look forward to bringing you guys on in some capacity in the future. Hopefully one or two at a time because we already got three here, and I know sometimes we can almost talk over each other as it is.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Quick.
we will work on bringing you guys in. Oh no, we all.
No, I'm joking, man.
I
I'm
was like, that's not right. Calling it out like that.
You know I'm messing with you.
I know you are.
But we'll work on bringing them in as well as for those who don't know, I was on Gametopius again last week. I'm regular co-host there. Rachel was finally on with me at the same time. They hadn't realized that hadn't happened prior, so it was kind of funny. So she's real cool, gotta say. Just like the rest of them, they're all real cool. Alex wasn't on the last show, unfortunately, but look forward to this week. So check out them. Check out their site, GameTopias.com, as well, AverageJoeGamer.net. Look forward to bringing some of the Gametopias people on as well at some point. Hopefully within the next month or so. Still trying to get situated here. And look for a special episode. We're going to bring in Andy and Roy at some point. I was thinking about doing it for an episode, but I think it would be easier just to set up a time at some point and just throwing out a little, like a episode 17.5 or 18.5, something weird like that.
That sounds like a good call.
Ben gets the .5 joke, though.
Yeah.
Korean albums tend to do .5s as specials, so.
That's why I was laughing, to be honest with you. Oh, God.
So don't forget, even if you can't send us like food items or drink stuff like that, tell us something. If so one of us can get a hold of it, we'll send it to the others, and we'll try it on air if we can, if it's readily available. We're willing to try new things. So next week we'll be trying Blue Moon mixed with Guinness. So you two don't forget, we got to pick at least up. I guess I don't know if you can get less than a 6 pack of each, but if you can find,
I'll
I'll
get
probably
a
pick up a
6-pack.
6 pack of each. It won't kill me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Um,
should be easy enough.
yeah, we'll.
It's beer. It'd be in the house.
Guessing we do that kind of like a black and tan. I guess we pour the Guinness in after.
I
Yeah,
guess so.
I'm not
Yeah.
sure. I don't
that's
think
my
she
guess.
mix them together at the same time. I don't know.
We're gonna have to ask the busty one about that one.
Yeah, we'll ask we'll ask Miss Chest about that. um, we want to
I,
thank everybody for listening.
hey, I have one more quick thing.
Hmm.
I just looked on Amazon. Mad World coming out on the Wii at the March 10th is now $40. So there's no reason you should not be buying this game.
Oh yeah, I
There's
forgot
a
to
reason
say.
why. I don't have a Wii.
Yeah, well, I broke down last Monday.
Yep, one of us. One of us.
I broke down and bought one. Why? Because I found out you can now downgrade the 3.4 firmware to 3.2, and I can play my import games. Haruhi, here I come. So, I'll be talking about Wii games. I do have the Onichambara Wii game now, so hopefully I'll talk about that soon. I don't know how I'm gonna review both that, the 360 and the Wii game. I'm probably doing both at the same time.
Well, you know
It
how
might
hard
just-
it was for me to play review the PS3 and the PC one when I'm trying to try to do both at the same time.
Yeah, that's why I'm gonna do well, just gonna do both Onichambaras in the same review and point out the differences and give the rating. It'd just be so much easier. It's gonna be tough
Oh, yeah.
to write about this one and then use pretty much the same exact words in this one. So look forward to that. Anything else before we head out, guys?
Oh, with next week's topic on achievement, any WoW players out there, let me know what you think about the achievement in World of Warcraft now. So, what do you think is the good, the bad, and the ugly? Make sure you go to the forums. We'll dab into that one too.
When did they get those? Did it come with Wrath of the Lich King?
It came out before Wrath of the Lich King, to be honest with
Oh.
you.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
It was in one of the patches, and I opened up one day, and they're like, "Oh, make sure you check out the achievement." What?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, there's like a bunch of achievements. Some of them are cool. Some of them are like, the hell?
Yeah,
And
that's definitely want to cover that.
So, yeah, yeah. We'll dab into that next
That
week.
also includes trophies, people. So if you just use achievements because they were really the first ones out there. But if you're a PS3 person, send us in the trophies that you think, and
Steam
We'll just-
achievements.
yeah, we'll discuss. We'll even discuss who does it the best. And I've got my thoughts on that one as well. So don't forget to leave us a comment. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up this week's episode, and in there you can leave the comments for the next week. So put them in there. So when you see this episode go up in the forum thread, leave the comments there as well as questions for the next episode, and we'll cover it. I think that's about it.
All right.
All right.
So check me out, pwn.com/gnitro. We got Church.
Later.
Pwn, you're not going to say where you're at.
Oh, and pwn.com/church4252.
All right, quick.
That's pwn.com/Quiglin.
All right, and as you guys know, we have our Twitters up there as well. So check out pwn.com/Total Meltdown, the actual profile. And until next week, peace.
Later.
Peace.